So one of the most dysfunctional things about the mortgage industry is that everybody focuses on volume. Do you know what that means?
Isn't it like the amount of something?
Yeah, right. So in mortgages, they give awards and they recognize people for doing this much volume of mortgages. I would get an award if I did 25 million, or like that one's for 50 million. That one's for 100 million, right? So like it really, they award like whoever does the most mortgages.
Makes sense.
It actually doesn't. Do you know why?
Why?
I remember when I worked in healthcare, I worked with this doctor and he was a brain surgeon. He worked in emergency in the evenings, on the weekends, instead of doing brain surgery. You know why?
Why?
It was more profitable, right? So in emergency, he had no expenses, right? He just showed up and worked his shift and he got paid per client. So anybody comes in sick, he gets paid. So he gets paid how many clients, right? He actually got a shift premium, okay? Paid extra because it was a weekend, and he got paid extra because it was evenings or nights. And so he was making a lot of money. When he was doing brain surgery, you get paid a lot of money for the surgery, right? Because it's something super specialized. But you don't get paid a lot of money for all of the meetings, like the appointments before and after the brain surgery. And you have to have staff, right? You had to have nurse, admin, an office. He had all these expenses. So even though brain surgeons get paid more, like that total money they get paid was more than what an emergency doctor was, he had no expenses in this one, and he had lots of expenses in this one. So he was making less profit as a brain surgeon than he was as an emergency doctor. And so when you think about a mortgage business, it's kind of the same. People brag about, oh, I do this many $1 million. But if you have a bunch of staff, an office space, expensive marketing, and you're spending a lot of money on different systems and whatever to make that business work, you might make less money than somebody who's doing way less volume, right? But we celebrate the volume of mortgages instead of celebrating how much money you actually take home, or how efficient your business is, or and that sort of goes in line with, like, there's a lot of things about hustle culture, right? Like the idea that everybody needs to be working all the time, and whatever. If they're a business owner, nobody's getting an award for work-life balance. Nobody ever in my mortgage industry career gave me an award because I made it to all your jiu-jitsu tournaments or got you guys on and off the bus every day and still built a successful business. That is hard to do, right? It's way harder than just doing mortgages all the time uninterrupted, right? It's way harder to do. But there's no awards for that. There's only awards for, volume, and not necessarily profitability. Like Papa used to always say, it's not what you make, it's what you take. Because at the end of the day, who's smarter? Somebody who builds a big business because they get like all these awards, or somebody who's making more money than them per hour having a smaller business? And so that's where it really is funny, because you can't advertise how profitable you are. You can't advertise, I make more money per hour than somebody else, but that really should be the goal. Because at the end of the day, the awards are nice, but you can get all kinds of awards. You can make up your own awards, right? You can say, world's best mortgage broker on this street in this office, right? And you can make an award for that. The awards are fine, and they do help, like in terms of marketing, but they should not be as important as making more per hour and protecting your time to make sure that you have time to go to the gym, to look after your family, to walk your dog, whatever it is you're going to do, right? Profitability is what is the key for businesses in terms of sustainability. But we don't celebrate that with awards.
No, we don't.
It's kind of funny.